The third step in excellence development involves trees, a highly sought-after resource for many reasons. Firewood provides 90% of the energy used in rural Africa, so trees for fuel are a top priority. They're also used by farmers to conserve soil and water, fertilise crops, provide fodder for animals, to build their homes, as well as for fruit and even medicines. And some trees are more special than others. So this is the moringa tree. It's called the miracle tree with good reason. It feeds both animals and people, and weight for weight, it has more vitamin C than an orange, more potassium than bananas, and more protein than milk. In fact, trees have the potential to change not just the Canberra world, but the whole world. Hey, don't just take my word for it.
The microclimate here has changed a great deal, and it has changed because of the following reasons. First of all, trees have been planted, and normally this area would have acacia and grass, but the community here over the last 25 years have planted lots of trees. What this has meant is that there's more precipitation because of the arresting the clouds. There is much more dew now here, and also the birds and the insects and the wind are bringing more seed here. So what is happening here is that over the last 25 years, this climatic zone has shifted from fairly semi-arid zone 5 geographically to zone 3. Rainwater harvesting and planting trees, if it were to be spread across the board, would achieve a great deal in contributing to the reversal of global warming.
So, because planting trees is the way forward, excellent development encouraged communities to plant vast quantities of indigenous and exotic trees. They even set up demonstration plots and forests to show exactly what can be grown, in addition to the old faithful varieties.
We did this with the community purposely to train them to use combination of trees, and not only to use one species of trees. In here we have local trees, we have exotic trees, we have medicinal trees, thinking the future that we will have trees grown here which can produce seed for other communities and for this community also to plant.
There we are. Another tree is planted. On the downside, some trees are used extensively for carving for tourist and export markets, endangering varieties like Dalbergia, also known as African ebony. Trees are also used extensively by locals for traditional medicines. An example is Prunus africana, which locals discovered had an amazing ability to cure prostate problems. Unfortunately, though, news travels fast. As a result, it's now an endangered and internationally protected tree. I'm here in the heart of Machakos to find out how the indigenous trees we've seen with medicinal properties are turned into traditional medicine. I'm going to talk to Wellington. Wellington, how important is traditional medicine to the people here of Kenya?
Over 80% of the population, living in these regions rely on traditional medicine for primary health care. It is actually becoming increasingly very difficult to obtain the raw materials in the form of the plants, that is in the barks and the roots and the leaves and also flowers, because most of the plants that we are using for our medicines have been cleared. The trees are being chopped down for fuel, they are being chopped down for building, they are being chopped down for all sorts of activities. But the unfortunate thing here is that very few people are planting indigenous plants, because the whole idea here is that the white people, who include yourselves, came in and told us that the plants that were peaceful were the plants that do not have thorns, and they went into clearing the indigenous plants.
Will you buy the plants, the trees, the bark, the leaves, the roots? Would you buy them from the farmers that Excellent Development have had grow them for you? Is that where you get them from?
We have bought them before from Excellent Development, because they are doing very well in growing Wabuga ugandensis, and it is a very rare species. And of course, I'm saying again that we will buy from them. We will buy from Excellent Development if they grow. They are also growing Prunus africana, although it takes a bit of time to grow, which is allowed. you know, we will buy, of course, from them.
Is that safe, Wellington?
It is not.
No. I have to say, his grinding room was a fascinating place, and even though the equipment was out of the ark, it did seem to do the job.
This may be done, yeah, and it has to be done 2 times.
Thank you. So no witch doctors, but tree surgeons might come in handy. Another day, another dam, but the connection between dams, terracing and trees was becoming much clearer to me. So this is the Matiku project. As you can see, it's a very busy place. In the far distance, you can see the first dam that was built, which was about 6 months ago. That's still filling up with sand, and already they are nearly completing this particular dam. It's a smaller one, and it services this nursery, a tree nursery that they've planted. Now, of course, all of this helps in the long term for water conservation. The dams will help the tree nursery. The tree nursery, when the trees grow, will of course help the soil conservation and all the terracing around it as well. It all adds up to a much more successful, happy and better community.
Joshua, who is the founder of this movement here, comes from this area. Traditionally, the community here recognized the importance of cooperation rather than competition. And the whole philosophy of Utaoni and Excellent is working together rather than competing. If we have common needs, if we have common problems, the best way to solve them is not to compete, but to work together. This is the whole philosophy of Utaoni and of Excellent Development.
And as Professor Mugambi said, you won't find a more successful community than Utoni. They've been working together for 28 years and are known as the mother of excellent development. The Utoni women are simply amazing, and during a break from dam building, Joshua's wife Rhoda sat me down for a chat with them. Tell me how you feel about what Excellent Development are doing here. So how much better is life since Excellent Development, since the Utoni project? Is it that much better? Is it that much better? Or is it that much better?
Excellent.
Which was good news. But what I really wanted to know was, how come I don't have a Kamba name now?
I am a Kumaila walk here, but I'm going to say,
What is it? What is it? I want to know what it is.
You are given a name as Alice Mongel.
Mongel.
Means another good one.
Another good one? Mongeli, another good one. I like it. So, armed with the knowledge that I'm another good one, Rhoda sent me off to Kola Market with Excellent Development's field manager Charlo to see how encouraging farmers to grow a range of different crops can provide an income. Is there anything special about Kola Market compared to the others?
Yeah, when you look at the prices, they are fair. So at least it's a market that we can say it's for the common man. So one can be able to afford whatever he or she wants to buy from the market.
And all of the farmers that we've seen as we've gone around the community self-help projects and everything, do they all come here?
Most of them come in to sell what they harvest from their farms, especially those who are able to get surplus from their farms.
And if they come to sell the surplus that they have, what does that money go towards?
That money may go to the paying of school fees. It may go to buying whatever is not available at home. Maybe they may buy implements which can be used back in the farm, or they can also buy clothes.
We will sell 20 shillings. Is that right? For 4? Lovely. Tell her to give me 4 nice ones. Can you ask her if she grew this herself? Yours? Yeah? So we've got the peppers and we've got the coriander, so we need the papaya and the chilies. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, my love.
Call a market. 25 years ago, it was an open market and there was hardly anything to sell. Every Friday, like today, there's a great deal of produce that is coming from here, and this community has learned to produce what they consume and to consume what they produce. If we are going to eradicate poverty in Africa, then we must encourage African countries to produce what they consume and consume what they produce.
We've travelled many miles on many bumpy African roads in the last couple of days. I'm very tired, but the one thing that always stands out to me, and the one thing that is the reason I love Africa, is the people. They're just, it's impossible to put it into words really, but they're so happy and yet have so little, and I don't understand how those two things gel, how they come together. They work so hard, they love what they do, and they make me feel very, very humble indeed.
There's a saying that says, better train a child to catch fish than to give him the fish. So by saying that, I mean the skill that we are getting now from excellent development is more important than the help that we can be given. Because you can give us 1 million, and that million it will add up, a month. You'll find that there's nothing. Then we stay, and we start stretching our hands again to borrow. But when our mind is filled with the skill, then we'll do for ourselves.
Giving people things for free doesn't help anybody. It doesn't create any ownership, and more importantly, it takes the dignity away from the people and creates dependence. Excellent development was developed and born out of a successful model developed by Africans for Africans. And excellent development, all it does is to help that model be transferred and replicated in other parts of Kenya, and hopefully in the future in other parts of Africa as well. If we look at what excellent development does and how the development works, I'd say that 70% of it is just helping people to do what they already know and what they already want to achieve. 25% is encouraging people to remember the things that they perhaps have forgotten, sadly being beaten out of them by extension workers and telling people not to grow indigenous trees, to grow grevillea, not to intercrop crops, those sorts of things. We're helping people to remember those things. And only 5% of it is stuff from outside. It's little bits of knowledge and ideas brought by myself and Joshua, which are little seeds that are planted on the ground, some of which that grow and some of which that don't. And the good thing is we don't care which one grows and which one doesn't, because the important thing is the ones that grow are the ones that the people want to grow.
I would say the last word is I'm grateful Simon said and thought about excellent, because my dreams are coming true. And if I die, I would say, in my grave, write dams, 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 trees, 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 and don't bring flowers.
Three years ago, completely barren land. Now, banana plants, dolichos, sweet corn. Oh, shoot, sweet corn.
Sand dams are the cheapest form of water that we know. The reason why they're not more widely used is that they're just not sexy.
One of our crew has a small problem, constipation. Do you have anything that you can give them for constipation?
Yes, we have medicine for constipation. In fact, constipation, I think we have even bottles about constipation.
And what does it do?
Now, sorry?
What does it do? Now this is a perfect example of just how effective a sand dam is. It's this way, sorry. It was that way? Yeah. Where's the sand dam?
Yeah.
No, seriously, I wanted to. Buddy.
Yes, Scotty boy. Hey! So you've come.
It's good to see you. Look at this, 3 years ago, completely barren land. Now, banana trees, plants. One of the odd things is that the Kambas are not fans of spicy food, and yet they grow chilies. There's a large Indian population here in Kenya. I don't know why they don't like chilies, they're lovely. Ooh. That's quite hot. Water! Ooh! Who's got water? Bananas, maize, napier grass, dolichos. Nice. Now, bananas, napier. Oh. You know that you're going to kill me, Josh.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
We'll make it.
I'll make it.
We'll make it. Yeah. Ah, yeah, yeah.